go on some auditions. He wants to get a sitcom. Let's see what's doing.
How are your auditions going? I got nothing. And I finally learned why. Apparently, SAG-AFTRA, at least this is what I was told.
See, even he knows this. He's full of shit right here. Apparently, well, this is what I was told. And by the way, he was told this by his agent, who's supposed to be getting him auditions. Listen to this. This is crazy.
SAG-AFTRA is still striking.
So now he goes to Google to look at him. He's like, so he calls the agent, like, how come we don't have any auditions? He's like, well, the strike, John. Obviously, that's why. He's just like, I didn't know there was still a strike. All right, well, let me know when you get me auditions.
That's another thing is typing. God damn it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
No, it says it ended, but then this guy was saying he's got no work right now because, something's still going on.
His agent told him he had to take a shower for 2 hours.
I mean, is his PI his agent as well? Because, I mean, he's getting bad information is what I'm saying here.
Yeah, no shit.
You know what's SAG-AFTRA? I don't know. I gotta do some research. I'm not gonna do it here. But
No.
I haven't gotten shit.
No, you
I
haven't.
told my manager, I'm like, dude,
Huh?
what the fuck is going on? I don't get anything.
What a great client. Not only is he unbookable, he's also a pain in the ass. What the fuck?
Okay,
Yeah,
so but
Yeah, he's in a meeting right now. Can I take a message? Yeah, ask him what.
thinks that the next stage of the career is going to be landing a sitcom, maybe landing, or is he shopping for like reality TV bits or something?
All of it, yes. I'll
All
take
of it?
anything, yes. He just
Shopping. He should go shopping for cat litter. This guy is shopping for a sitcom. What are you talking about?
Is there an app for that? Can you...
I didn't know. I assume he's open for anything when it comes to Hollywood. So if they would take him on, obviously one of the certain reality shows are too big for him. But
Onion and a puppet. So he's waiting to hear back on that.
I'm submitting you, but there hasn't been anything really. But in his defense, the studios have slowed down. They literally have slowed down. That's a fact.
I mean,
There's not as many gigs that are open right now.
if you're an agent, this is your dream client. Just a big dummy that you can feed any line of bullshit to, and he'll never question you on it.
So, here's how this works, John. I just want to point this out to you. People who are good at their job get work. It's how it's worked for all of the things. You suck. No one's interested in you. That's what's going on right now. Can I just make a point here? Because I didn't know this was going to happen, but when I pull clips on WATP, I noticed that he usually finishes thoughts with a giant swig of beer.
Yes.
So I usually pull the clip so I get to like this point where he's all the way tipped back with the beer, and I go, okay, that's the end of the clip. You guys have those transitions that you do on
Yeah.
Uncle Rico. Maybe it should just be John chugging the beer in between.
It might be.
It's how he ends every fucking thought that he has. It's like on to the next thing.
It is
It
his.
erases his memories. Like, what was I talking about? It doesn't matter.
it's called
Yeah,
the Be a Bookend.
Right.
Right.
The prosecution rest slug. That's what that is.
Yes. All right. Let's check out. So, Rich Voss was on Jim and Sam yesterday.
He was great, man. He was so funny on this.
So it was so fantastic, and I love the fact that Rich brought up the fact that he put a very simple throwaway tweet out in a thread between John and Chad Zumach, and John reacted like a lunatic, like he always does, because John hates the word middle.
Yeah.
Rich said, I don't usually get involved in middle drama, and John lost his mind, went on his show, trashed Rich Voss, saying he didn't care about the victims of 9/11. I mean, we've covered this. I don't want to get too into it. It's a crazy story if you don't know. But what's great is that Rich went on the Jim and Sam show and brought it up, and they talked about the Dabbleverse and Stuttering John and
John's
me and
talking about
Julie and all that kind of stuff.
21 years
And then
ago,
they changed subjects, and then
he
Sam
wanted Rich
Roberts brought
Voss to
it
do
back to the
a
Dabbleverse again, which
benefit for
props to
9/11.
Sam.
Yeah.
For
Voss
doing it, because he knew, like,
said
this
no.
is an interesting topic. We should get more into this.
Yeah. Oh, don't kid yourself. Sam's in this shit. He's sitting here pretending because I think I heard. No, Sam. You listen.
Well, I kind of was paying attention with the catalytic converter thing. It's just like, Sam, you know everything that's going on. It's great. I love it. But on that episode, Rich said, I did a podcast with Bonnie. My wife hates me. And we talk about it's going to come out this Friday. Well, today's Friday. So the episode has come out. And I wanted to play some of this, and maybe we can... you know what? I have it right here on the stand. We can break this down a little bit.
Yeah, but who would even bring that to the light? Anyhow,
I'm just saying that's like something he feels.
So he went on his podcast.
It's like when people call me fat on Instagram. I go, oh, shit, I've been found out.
Yeah, and then he went on his podcast. And this is the funny thing, too. He's like, fuck Rich Voss, this... Like, I don't know if he called me a hack, which is the furthest thing in life. And he posts on Twitter pictures of him like headlining like a Laugh Factory somewhere. All right, I didn't
even know that. John had approved. So Voss always calls everyone a middle act. That's like his thing. Very funny, and most people just rolls off their back. Like even Chad Zuma was just like whatever.
No, it's not most people call. It's comics. Comics. It rolls off their back.
Of course. No one cares, but John took offense to it. So John's
legend.
response, I didn't know this. He had to post photos of him headlining clubs.
Yeah. He
Come on.
His PI opened up the evidence locker and got the stand-up gig photos for him. Insanity.
He takes things so fucking literally. Hey, literal John, Voss is busting your balls. But actually, Voss didn't know John's a comic, as we're going to find out in just a moment.
even really know he was a comic.
But that's...
Because I didn't even really know he was a comic. Join the club.
He's not a musician.
How do you think the people felt after the show
not
that they
an
just
announcer.
watched?
Right.
I mean, my God.
Dear Stuttering John, you're not a comic. You used to read ridiculous questions to celebrities that Fred and Jackie and Howard wrote. That was your peak in life.
I didn't know he was a comic. Chad, I
Right.
worked with, so I didn't even know. All right.
Well,
And I got to point this out, too, because Rich Voss has been touring the U.S. doing comedy clubs for 4 decades?
Yeah,
Rich
quite
Voss
some
has been
time.
in this
4.
game for a long time. And this was the thing when I talked to Chrissy
He
Mayer
was
after the
playing on the
famous
old
I didn't
O&A
realize you
show.
dabbled in comedy incident, that Chrissy Mayer's also touring around. She goes, well, I never see his poster up at clubs. Like, people know, comics know when other comics are out on the road. They see their poster. They go to the club. They see who was there, who's coming up. They see that.
Yeah.
John's not in that. He's not doing that.
No, and Rich, it's not just clubs. Rich works everywhere, all across the country.
Yes.
Clubs, theaters, he does a lot of AA stuff, big corporate stuff. The guy, he wrote for the Oscars for Chris Rock. Like, the guy is legit, and for him to bust your balls is a pat on the back. Is
Correct.
Rich saying, you're okay. You're one of us, kind of, right?
I had Pat Oates on my show. We were playing John freaking out about this. And that was Pat's initial reaction. It was like, it's amazing he's acknowledging these assholes. Just the fact that Voss is even paying attention to know that they were having a feud and now they're making up. But that's crazy. Like, just be happy about that.
You're going to make jokes about me being a headliner.
Well, then he brought up on this podcast, which these other guys viewed. I'll talk about them in a second.
Okay, first of all, there's people that might not know who these people are. Chad Zumach is just
Yeah, he's just a comic, a road
a
comic.
middle.
A middle.
And
Go
he was
middle.
he was like, didn't he go to jail and stuff?
No, there was a thing with him, with whatever,
I
But
thought-
I talked about the phone the other day. He did sound good. He did sound like clear-headed, but maybe...
Look at Bonnie's face right there. Rich goes, I talked to Chad. He seems like he's doing well. Bonnie goes, I don't know about that. Because Bonnie's going to tell a little anecdote about being on MLC.
I was on Kevin Brennan's podcast.
Well, how did you get that?
I lucked out. They reached out to me. But it was not fun being on there with him. He was aggravating, to say the least.
Okay, well...
Okay, so he's...
I talked to him on the phone. He sounded...
But it's because he's like in and out of
trouble.
addiction problems.
Well, who knows?
Okay.
Yeah,
So then we got...
Bonnie, I've been playing body drops on WATP for about 6 years now. Really does just say some crazy shit. And like, yeah, I think he went to jail. He's got addiction problems. Should just throw this shit out there. It's like, yeah, I was on a podcast with him one time. These are my takeaways from it.
I mean, those two together. I remember going to a live My Wife Hates Me with Ron Bennington as their guest.
Yeah.
And they just
Those were
fucking
great.
destroyed. Like, she's so quick. He's so fucking quick. They're deadly, those two. They really are.
Brandon, you've been in radio your entire life. Should you be talking about people having addiction problems and going to jail? Is that could that be a problem when you broadcast things like that?
I think she knows something we don't. I don't know. He shut that down pretty quick.
He did, but it seems like she's just ready to make all sorts.
Not old like us, you might not know. He was on Howard Stern for
Then
years.
he
and
was
years.
on Leno. He was the
Oh,
announcer.
how did he get that?
Yes, Bonnie is killing it right now. You know that after that he's on the Tonight Show. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. We all did. No one
This is
cares.
amazing.
Isn't this great, Gordon? I just, and they talked about this on Jim and Sam when Voss brought this up. They're like, "Oh, you just entered the Dabbleverse." He's like, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about." It's like, yeah, these two are all in that right now in the Dabbleverse.
He maybe because I think Leno and Stern didn't like each other, so he stole him from Stern.
Oh, to
And,
try to like
But that was the Leno declining
I don't
years.
know, but
It's like
Stuttering
everybody
John,
stopped
stealing your
watching.
turd.
like,
Even.
but Stuttering.
Amazing.
She's a killer.
Fucking amazing.
She's not wrong.
No,
She's not
she
wrong.
does. She's got it. And they're acting like, yeah, I'm not sure, but they're pinpoint accurate at this point. They're just sitting there going, oh yeah, he was on Leno. Why was he on Leno? Oh, because Leno and Howard had a thing, and so they hired him away to piss off Howard. Oh yeah, sounds about right.
John he must have been making decent money with Stern and phenomenal.
I just
money
realized
with
they're
Leno.
probably gonna listen to this and now be mad at everything I'm saying.
Well,
Nope.
No,
I'm
Bonnie,
being
you're on a
dragged
roll.
in.
well, you're dragged in because
I'm just trying to set it up for people.
well. So then
I don't care. Don't drag me in.
He
Don't call me fat.
All
That's
right.
what.
he also put like I said pictures of him. I'm a headliner. Whoa, relax.
I think he is a headliner.
So
And Chad Zumach is also a headliner. And I think you're wrong, Rich.
so not only that, he on his podcast, which I didn't listen to until somebody else sent me another podcast reviewing him, which I'll talk about in a second. So he also
You didn't listen to his podcast. You listened
No.
to someone else who listened to his podcast.
reviewing it.
The
Those
only
guys
way
were
to
good.
listen to John.
I
Yeah,
thought-
because they were 100% on your side. They
Well, no, they
never,
trashed us.
they did not trash you at all.
No, but they
From
had
what
to.
I heard, it was 100% trash. So of course, that would stand to reason that you're like, these guys are good.
No.
All right, so I wrote down a note when I saw this part of it. I went, maybe I should start praising other podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm doing this all wrong. Here I am bashing podcasts, and then they ignore me. But if I was out there,
listen to one. 9/11 happened, and Stuttering John was doing.
I didn't mean to laugh at 9/11. I was thinking about that you both have speech impediments.
9/11.
You just swallow it so hard. Why is it?
No,
why do you
calm
just
down.
own it?
All right, fatso. So,
Oh my God. I guess it's
Come on,
true.
get into the whole
I guess
screen.
it's true.
so I was supposed to do a fundraiser. He asked me the last minute to do this fundraiser at one of Trump's casinos for 9/11, and I said yes. But I
But
was
where
the
are they
last,
raising money
That's
for?
23 years ago.
five minutes or something.
Oh, okay.
I was a last minute add-on. I think it was Florentine Modi and him, and I was the last minute. Well,
okay, so I have to tell you guys a story because my buddy Vinny Paulino last weekend just happened to do shows with both Florentine and Voss, and the three of them got together for breakfast one morning, and they were talking about this specific show.
Right.
So John's whole thing was Voss doesn't care about victims of 9/11 because he was supposed to be on this charity show we did for 9/11, and he canceled. But
Right.
what's crazy about this is that the show was the week of 9/11. It was like that weekend. Now, I don't know if you guys were alive during 9/11, Corn Diff?
I was, yes.
Yeah.
He's
Brad
high
Dodd?
as a kite.
I had plans that weekend too. Yes, it was my
Okay,
sister's
yeah.
wedding.
Okay. So we all remember this time. There wasn't a lot going on, right? There wasn't a lot that was open, a lot of things happening. The NFL shut down, it was the whole thing. So there's no fucking way they organized a benefit show the week of 9/11. So it happened Tuesday morning, and then Friday or Saturday,
John can't do
they already
anything.
have a benefit show
You know that.
for it. This had to have been booked way in advance of that. And then they turned it into a 9/11 benefit.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Well-
'Cause how else did that even make sense?
Well, I can tell you one thing's for sure. If John wasn't making money on this show, he would not be doing a 9/11 benefit show
That
that
was
weekend.
another grip.
That I can promise you.
I probably agree with that. I
Another
don't know all
John
the facts,
scam.
but it's probably true. So the fact that they had this show, it was booked, and then they're like, oh shit, 9/11 happened. Let's make it a 9/11 charity show so we don't look too bad. We don't want to Gilbert Gottfried this, we don't want to seem insensitive. And then they ask Rich to come on it. So in that scenario, Rich is not responsible for ticket sales at all.
No, he's
These
a last
tickets have
minute.
already been sold. Yeah, it's a last minute addition to the show.
Plus, understand that a lot of these benefits, there's a budget that they have
Right.
that they use. So paying the talent is part of that budget. It's not like you're telling people I'm doing this for free. You'll get paid, but I've seen comics. I've done benefits where comics have taken the money and given it right back to the people.
You should. Yeah, you should. That's what you should
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not John.
I mean, I didn't, but I mean, I've
You
seen
don't
other
have to.
people
I
do
mean,
it.
if you're Jewish,
Yeah.
you don't have to, obviously.
I mean,
But
What about
Sure.
me?
9/11, and then they go, okay, we're going to do it. So I had to cancel it, and I was there.
that makes nothing but sense.
Mm-hmm.
So Voss is already booked for that weekend. 9/11 happens. They go, hey, Rich, we have a show in Atlantic City. Do you want to be on it? And Rich is like, yeah, I don't know if my show's happening, so sure. And then the show that he already has booked is like, nope, we're actually going to open up. Let's do it. And Rich is like, oh, okay, yeah, that was my first obligation. That's what I have to do.
Absolutely.
There, put in the last minute. Anyhow, he's bringing up on his podcast what a fucking scumbag I am for canceling him 23 years ago.
Yeah.
23. Let it go. I'm living rent free in your head. So,
Oh God, please don't do those kind of things.
they're good sayings.
I know they're just so hacky.
That's hacky, living rent free in your head. You know?
Yes, you say it all the time.
Well, then that means I like the saying.
Yeah. Well,
And
no.
maybe you don't like. Okay, don't.
It's you know what it is. It's from
So Bonnie was upset that I called them an old, bickering married couple, but I mean, what the fuck else are we watching right now? Oh my god, I don't like the way you cut your toenails. Please, you gotta stop doing it like that. In the kitchen, come on.
shit.
I love when she yells
I
at him.
can't fucking take it.
Oh, I didn't know that she was the
That's Bonnie.
Yeah.
originator of those. That's great.
Yeah, all of
Yeah.
those drops.
Who fucking cares?
Those are all the first time we reviewed. My wife hates me from like 2018 or something like that. This has been going on for a while.
In the program. It's from your program. Why do you get so mad? We're just
I'm not
joking
mad. I'm
around.
catching my breath.
Oh my God.
Well, anyhow, so this.
When I was married to Stuttering John, he never got this mad. He was always like,
well,
he finished that podcast, by the way, and was like, that should rev up some fucking views and listens. I like Rich. I don't even care at all.
so then, anyhow.
He's not taking it seriously. He's just doing it. That's
So
what you don't realize.
this-
Stop touching the mic, April. Stop moving the microphone, April. So uncomfortable.
King Dave, all this was happening on Twitter. Shuley, who I like, who I'm a fan of.
Was also somehow connected to Howard Stern show.
Yeah. And
Somehow.
It's, a,
I think it was a caller or something, right? I can't
like-
remember.
it's like pop-up video, just these little fun facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey, did you know that Shuli was somehow associated with the Howard Stern show?
I recall hearing about that.
Yeah.
funny guy.
A writer?
Comic. I've worked with him.
Was
Funny.
he a writer on the show? Is that what?
Who Shuley? He
was
did
on
a
the show?
A bunch of shit.
Yeah.
But he moved, and
Moved on.
big fan of Shuley's. We've worked together. Every time we see him, we talk.
Oh, that's gonna piss John off.
But was he a main character? That's what he keeps calling himself. I was a main character.
He was the phone screener.
Yeah, we were literally talking yesterday, me and him. And I told him, I said, you didn't
Yeah.
trash the guy, but he's going to be livid with you. I said, you're in now, just so you know. He goes, I don't want to. I go, doesn't matter what you want, Rich. You're in. You're in.
You know, one of the things that really is frustrating about Stuttering John is when he talks about how he's a main character on the Stern Show. And one of the things he always cites is that the sales collateral for the Channel 9 show featured him, Robin, and Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This wasn't something that was made public. It was just sales collateral. And he's like,
Right.
but the photo on the front was us three. So John thinks he was a main character. Now, when John was hired, it was Howard, Robin, Fred, Jackie, Gary, and then John became the sixth person.
Right.
So the Howard Stern show now has like 80 employees. So yeah. It's going to be a little different when there's 6.
Yeah.
But the beauty of Howard Stern, this is the thing that John doesn't understand. John makes everyone interesting. Even guys like J.D. Harmeyer. No offense to J.D. But he makes everyone interesting. Ronnie the limo driver, who's not interesting in any single way, becomes a main character on the show because that's the brilliance of Howard Stern.
And I will say, spend some time in a strip club with Ronnie and tell me he's not interesting. Okay, I will debate you on that.
Fair enough. All right,
Yeah.
I don't hang out with Ronnie. I might have missed Scott, the engineer.
Oh, Scott
Just
for
did
sure.
the paper,
Scott, I'll
he
give
was
you
there.
8 days a week.
He
Absolutely.
was, no, I just mean he was there before
Yes.
John, I think, right?
Yes.
Just the ego, the level it takes to say that I would just to call it a main character, like it's like if he was on a movie poster, he'd be like, I'd be up there on the top, before it says the name of the movie.
Well, also the main characters don't say that they're main characters, so
No.
that should tell you something.
Main character.
And I text on Twitter. I went to Stuttering John. Hey, I was joking. Loosen up. All right, it was a joke. And obviously, Chad got it. He didn't care. So it's Stuttering John writes back, LOL. I just saw this right after his whole diatribe, whatever it was.
Right.
So anyhow, this
You
podcast.
had it right there, Rich.
He
Get
did.
confident, stupid. Yeah, you actually figured it out.
Well, now they're going to come for me.
The name of
Take back everything I said.
who are these podcasts? Reviewed it all, and I think they've trashed us. I think they called us.
If they haven't, they should.
I
They
think-
should try this podcast.
Stop touching the microphone, buddy! Stop it! I love this thing like trashed us. We reviewed your show and
Trash.
found some flaws.
Yeah.
A couple things you
the-
could have done better. That's all.
Yeah, I like how Carl sets it up. Like sometimes we really love the podcast we're reviewing.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine? Oh, that's happened a couple of times. The most famous one was Michael Rappaport because Andy and his brother came over, and the show format at WATP. It's like, let's rag on this podcast. They come over, they're like, yeah, what about this fucking guy? I'm like, I love him. He's great.
You're not charismatic.
I was just like, no, I think everything about this show is hilarious, and I really enjoyed it.
I love Mike.
I really sandbagged those guys with that one.
I think they called us a
Right.
bickering couple or something.
I hate when people do that.
I know, but anyhow, they were reviewing the whole.
Reminds me of listening to my parents. Were your parents ever this funny?
I didn't say that, by the way, Bonnie, just so you know. I said you were a bickering couple. I didn't say you reminded me of my parents.
Sorry.
The head of that podcast.
People think this is easy to do. This
When I-
ain't easy.
I think when I was in Rochester, the guy
Living
that-
with this man.
when I was in Rochester, I think that Vinny, who has a podcast up there, I think he said, you don't like those guys. I don't even know him, but maybe I don't.
Who?
The one that reviewed us.
Oh,
Pay attention! Who are these podcasts we're talking about?
I mean, in Bonnie's defense, it's a tough follow.
No, I understand. It's a lot going on.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I do or don't. I don't even know if I.
we liked him yesterday or the day before,
Well,
whenever
the guy-
we listened. Boss is better than all of them, and you're like, this guy knows his shit.
Well, I mean, when it comes to comedy, he's saying, the guy who's the main guy on Who Are These Podcasts, he was good. The guy, I'm not going to lie, the guy was carrying his podcast. He had some other comic who was a guest on, probably a middle.
By the way, Voss is very good here. He's doing a very good job. He's good. He's making a lot of good points right now. I don't know if you guys have picked up on that.
All right.
I mean, Gordon, Voss is doing a good job right now. Am I wrong?
He's
stuff.
I mean, he's talking pretty good about you.
Making some good points.
Yeah, Corndip's pissed. He hasn't mentioned him yet.
Stand-up or my stand-up because we're fucking amazing. But the guy was good. Anyhow, he reviewed the whole thing, and I'm like, a lot of people do not like this Stuttering John guy. Like,
Brilliant observation right there. That is correct, sir. You just nailed it.
again, it highlights the difference between a comic and a non-comic.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, they probably trashed us, and whether he hears it or not, I'm sure he'll take it. It won't ruin his day. He won't make it his life's mission to go after you, to dig up pictures on your family or friends. Like,
Yeah.
it's, I mean, forget comic. It's just a normal human being reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
and the latest, which is criminal records, finding criminal records for everybody
my
that you
God.
hate and everybody that is involved in the Dabbleverse, and then threatening to read it line by line. That's bizarre.
Yeah. It's a weird thing to do because it's not funny or entertaining.
In that whole big drama bullshit, we're fucking headliners, which is obvious. So I don't.
Used in reference to the Dabbleverse, like this is
Agreed.
a roast.
Agreed.
What we're doing right here is a roast. Like none of us are butthurt about anything that's going on, except for John. John's the only one who thinks this is drama.
Yeah.
The rest of us are having fun.
It's a great point. It's like the guy you've been roasting all night has a chance to come up and give everybody back, and he just starts reading court transcripts. And you're like, this was supposed to be a fun roast. What happened?
John comes up at the end and he's like, oh, my feet smell? Well, you didn't pay a parking ticket.
Yeah, he's got...
At 10, penny saver route. That's like the free newspaper.
Mhm.
At, let's see, 13 or 12, I had a Newsday route.
Well, don't forget, at 10, you were all district hand trumpet, too, you mentioned. There's some John twins. Look at that. Wow.
His hand looks less fucked up there than it does
I know.
in this video.
At 10, you said you worked in a
Mule,
tire
I told
shop.
you that in private.
Maybe
Truly washes
tires.
with bagel shampoo.
3
You know, we're going to be friends.
What
You got to
happened
keep
to
some
that?
stuff off the air. Dickhead.
Then
How'd you get those beautiful locks? Oh, it's bagel shampoo?
at 13, I started in the summers working at Wholesale Tire,
Oh,
a tire warehouse.
moved up to 13.
Really? I thought it was a snack bar that sold hot dogs.
Watch that left
Interesting.
hand.
And I stayed
It's
at
your lying
Wholesale
hand.
Tire, even working my way through college.
Wow.
And I was making a lot of money there. I became a driver. I got my class.
That's what was it, Coming to America? Louis Anderson, when he worked at the McDonald's. Hey, guys. And now you get on lettuce. That's where the big bucks start rolling in. He goes,
Right now I'm washing lettuce. Soon I'll be on fries.
fries, right. That's where the big bucks start rolling in.
Man.
5 driver's
All right,
license.
Wait, yeah, you can't get hired at 13. It was a different time, Wes.
Driving one of those big ass trucks, like the biggest one
When you were
before it's
13.
before it's a semi. I had to take. I actually had to parallel park one of these big ass trucks.
Wow, you mean like every truck driver has to do? Wow.
There's no shame in working hard. So, you know, when I lost the Tonight Show, I was there till the end.
I know where it is. It's just when I go there, somebody else is doing it now.
Contrary to another misnomer, I was there for 10 fucking years,
And every year you got a
and
reduction.
that's
Big
during
and
20.
salary.
Look at the fingers.
So 20.
Look at the fingers digging into the thumb.
Know what
Yep.
that means?
He's bullshitting right
So
now
why
about
detect hand?
something.
5 years of, you know, and then I worked at Bite Size TV. I wrote for the Cream Abdul Barros, but you know, you get a job, then you don't have a job. So then, you know, I tried the Uber thing. I fucking hated it. It's just, you know, it's
Good.
and they didn't allow people to tip on the thing then, and it was like, fucking, what am I doing? So I left that like immediately. But I do jokes about it, like in my stand-up, like it's some kind of revelation. Why the fuck would I do jokes about it if I'm trying to hide it? And I elaborate. If you see my stand-up, I do like 4 or 5 jokes about
Stand up.
it.
You don't do stand up. You can hardly sit down.
Oh, Baby Yoda, Stuttering John, I can't stay for long, but I want to ask if we thought about doing a late show once a week for us fans. Maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, I might do that.
Technically a question
First
and answer.
We had our first.
Friends who work late or who work during the day. That's not a bad idea. I don't see where Mark P said he was leaving. I don't know why he'd be leaving. It's not even 3 o'clock yet.
Wow. He never has 2 cups of coffee at home. I don't understand.
Joy Hine, you'd be good on a local radio station. I would love to do it again. Yeah, Joe Weatherford, I've debated Uber. I could use extra cash, but I've heard horror stories.
I was thinking about getting into ham radio. I don't know what you guys think.
But meanwhile, he already drove for Uber, so he's lying again. Now look at his fingers. Look. Okay, let's watch this because we learned that he doxed his email address. He showed his inbox, and there was email in there for Uber drivers or some class action suit or something.
Right.
And so he worked for Uber.
Fine.
But watch his hands when he starts lying.
You'd be good on a local radio station. I would love to do it again. Yeah, Joe Weatherford, I've debated Uber. I could use extra cash, but I've heard horror stories. Yeah. Tell you the truth, I passed the realtor test, which, by the way, is not the easiest exam in the world.
One of these.
And I hated it. Hated it. Just not for me. I mean, really, I'm just built to do one thing, which is entertain, teach.
Right. You know why he hated it? Because of all the work that probably had to go into it. You know, you got to promote yourself to get out there and sell some houses, meet some people, right?
And you have to dress up. You have to look sharp.
You have to know your shit too.
Yeah.
Well, how hard is it to sell a house? You just show up to the house and you go, "Hey guys, look, you want to walk inside?" You show them the house. They want it.
Look,
they want it.
The good ones are very good at it. It's like anything. Sure, it may not look like it's hard to you, but people start asking questions about, shit about the house that you don't know or you never took the time to research. You're gonna look like a fucking idiot. They're gonna walk out of there. So you got to be prepared to answer any and all questions. You really got to know that house.
The house, make it look good. Put their own time in.
To be really candid, what I wanted to do when I left the Tonight Show was become a college professor and teach film and television because that was my major. That's what I wanted to do.
Here, look, Tiger Lily. The test isn't hard. Real estate requires hustle. He has none. Exactly.
The problem is to be a professor at a university, then you have to go and get your master's. And I didn't feel like going to get my master's. So that's why, to become a guest teacher, as they call it in LA.
Substitute.
Okay, I don't have to go and get, I don't think
Guest teacher. Guest starring. Guest appearance by John Melendez in third period.
Filling in for Mr. Frederick in health class.
Guest teacher.
You ready for your Midler teacher?
Unbelievable. Hold on. Mr. Blue Sky, Shuli is nailing that gay Alabaman.
It's a Trotsky?
And you follow me and comment and make fake names every single second.
Who would do something like that, though?
Put it this way, you can't really, for someone to spend that much time, I know exactly who it is, but for someone to spend that much time, think about how demented that is. They're paying to do it, but think how much they love me and my career. They love it.
What a psycho. John, don't associate with people like that. Just take free beer and tampons from them.
And by the way, so John drove for Uber for 2 weeks. I swear it was very brief. But, and I hated it.
So wait a minute. So why a minute ago did he say, I'm thinking about Uber? He goes, I'm thinking about it. Now he's saying he did drive for 2 weeks only.
Right. Well, that would mean that he's desperate for money.
Let's see. Then
or maybe that millionaire he was talking about was really him all along, and he wanted to be modest about it.
Then I was Oh yeah, it was executive producer Stephanie Miller. It was around that time. I don't know if it was before or after, during. And then I was the host, writer, and correspondent at the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship in Vegas, which I made over 20-something thousand.
You're lying again.
2 days.
You didn't even get a credit for that
2 days. You
on the show.
You didn't write before that. You just showed up.
Yeah.
All right. Here. Well, hold on a second. All right, there. That's it.
Watch his hand after he says the amount.
Which I made over 20-something thousand.
First of all, he looks up.
Just 2 days. Not bad.
Right to the thumb.
So I'm not gonna just sit on my ass and just spend money.
Yeah, Janet caught it. Looking up and to the left again. Yep.
Money. I'd rather make money. I'd rather make my beer money at the pub. School.
Not money to support his family. Child support. Beer money. That's the first thing that comes up. Beer money. And guess what? 2 years ago, you still needed to pay child support, buddy.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, teachers get substitutes $47.50 an hour. It's not bad.
No, you don't.
It's not like I think I was making.
Again, look at him. Here we go. Where's that fake number? Okay, I'm
Here
losing
come
it
the
in the
line.
clouds. Let me see. I got to clean out those gutters.
I want to say $200 an hour at the Tonight Show.
Now, look, maybe it's on that side of the bullshit.
Hey, the guy's purple today. These lines are fast.
Unbelievable. Yeah, 47. What did he say it was an hour? 40 what?
750. Yeah.
I don't
Nowhere
think
close
so.
to that.
No.
Let's see. When I was on the Tonight Show, I don't know. I was making like.
I don't know. I can't find the lie up there. I don't know.
It could even have been 1,000 an hour. It was fucking crazy money then. But that,
Crazy you got none of it left.
Right. For a guy who can't stand the sun, he sure likes looking up at that light bulb. Yeah, he does, huh? I fucking hate this guy with every fiber of my being, but I cannot stop watching you guys dunk on him every day. We love you, Real Z. We love you, pal. Malibu comic books. I'm calling for a boycott of. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, look at this. He's looking at the because you're an addict.
I mean, who has a job like that? This is
Look at
another
this guy. He
thing,
can't even open his
which
eyes.
is the reason why I'm going to be suing pretty soon.
Huh?
Didn't you get fired from Stephanie Miller for drinking?
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Courtroom John has just entered the building.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Okay, let's address this.
All rise.
John's political show was all about remarking on Trump, everything he said and did. So by John's logic, Trump is amazing and he loves him. Got it. Yeah. He's focused on him every single day. You're right. At least I can always see Anne H's butthole in that crappy Psycho remake. Yeah, that was a weird move.
Really?
Yeah, it was just, yeah. And like, you gonna remake a movie, The Psycho? Like, what's wrong with Psycho?
Well, if you're going to do it, you should see Anne Heche's asshole in it.
Ah, please. You've seen one asshole, you've seen them all. Come on, what are you gonna do? Later. What happened? Where'd he go?
25 years.
I thought you put him
Stern
backstage.
No,
and
I didn't
Leno.
put him back there.
Wanted to go check out Anne Heche's butthole.
Oh, sorry.
The Stephanie Miller show was at 6 to 9 a.m.
Look who decided to
Oh,
show
look who
up.
Really? Really? The president could be on time for Lizelle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hillary Clinton's on time.
Ah, the Breakfast of Champions. Look at that.
Hello. She was.
Hello, Robin.
She was.
All right.
Hello.
He's already drunk.
Say hi to Jim for me, all right?
Sit
Hello, Robin.
down. Yes, where she wanted to go.
On you?
No, you're sitting here. You're sitting here.
What's going on?
Listen to what his boss is about to say about him. Listen to this. He just walked in to work. Listen.
Sitting here.
He's like,
Look
I
at him.
just
He's
walked
a
in
mess.
and they're getting loud.
Look at him. He's a mess.
He's
I
a
had to
mess.
drop the kids off.
All right.
That's a jump the kids on.
And the kids.
Yeah, and she's making fun of his speech, already slurred, drunken.
said that
So he
this
was
was
driving
out.
the children drunk, by the way.
I
That's
mean,
what's implied there.
Look, his condition is not, it doesn't sound good. We don't know for a fact if he's drunk, but if he was...
He showed up with a case of beer.
That sounds slanderous.
Listen, who knows? When people travel with cases of beer.
Maybe the kids were drinking in the car. You don't know.
Not a good look, though. People are going to talk.
He's late,
Plenty for
and that's what
everybody.
he does.
Your chair, you need to move your chair up.
Thank
You
you,
look like
Brian.
Vern Troyer. What the hell's happening?
I'm like Burns right.
Hey. All right, wait. So just
yeah,
finish the
he's
story,
loaded.
and then.
So,
All right.
so I started freaking out,
Don't
and you
open
see,
a beer.
I'm like, oh, let me calm down, because they're about to shoot me. Because no one usually gets up,
That's
they
like
see it all the
water
time. They
to
were
him.
bored with it, but I've never seen a brother land his own helicopter in his yard.
It's weird to me that people ignore dogs. You know what I mean? There's this big, beautiful dog behind him. Just reach over and pet it 2 seconds. That's weird to me. That's weird. That's serial killer shit.
No. You know what I'm saying? So,
Look at that. Look at that beauty.
I'm thinking this through.
Look at the way John sits. He's like it's like one of those blow-up dolls. Like one of this
Laying his own helicopter in his yard. You know what I'm saying?
Look at the hand staying still. Look at the other hand staying low. Wow. It was a different time. I could drink one arm back then. Yeah, am I right? That's a weird fucking thing. The dog is bigger than John.
Even the dog is looking at him like, why are you here?
That's what he can't take the smell.
What a bunch of...
Judging him.
I could talk you out of a job, motherfucker.
I'll have your job in fucking 2 days.
Yeah.
With their own helicopter.
I got fired because I was drinking. No. But that's what somebody said, and I'm glad, and I'm going to screenshot this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Because the person that said that is the one I sent the cease and desist to.
Yeah,
And I
right.
have tape of him saying
You're
that.
full of crap.
And that is...
Well, I hope the judge has a few minutes for us to set up the reel-to-reel in the courtroom so we can play the tape. And you know what'll win you a lawsuit every time? Screenshots. Those can't be manipulated in any way.
where the lawsuit will be coming. At least one of them. Because you can't be saying...
You always
can't
say
be
that, but you don't
lying.
do anything.
Hold on.
You lazy fuck.
That dog is beautiful. Did you say her name was Stephanie? Oh, my God. Michael, you know what, man?
They just showed you were late, and the
And
first thing you did
saying
was open a beer at 11 in the
A
morning,
maltruth
or 6 in the
that
morning.
could hurt my future employment.
A maltruth?
Jesus, here we are.
DJ, bring that retard back. Thank you.
And saying a maltruth that could hurt my future employment as an
Like calling someone who's not a felon, perhaps?
Yeah, how about that?
Shut up, felon.
And I made a lot of money as an entertainer, millions.
And what do you got now?
I go by mule truth, motherfucker, not maltruth. You T-head motherfucker.
Is that when Ralph Mouth says the truth?
Right.
Say that on a show.
Now there's a cologne, maltruth by Stuttering John. Oh, that's great.
When it's an outright lie. That
Isn't that
right
violent?
there is slanderous.
And it's on the verge of domestic terrorism. You heard it here first.
And that right there is why a lawsuit will be levied.
No, it won't. You've been saying that for years.
I'm not working for anybody here, Joy. I'm working for me. And this is called Beer on the Balcony.
Actually, it's called Blunder Years, but go ahead.
I could have a beer on my own show, can't I?
Day
And I
and,
only
day
do
and
it on
night.
Saturdays
You're
at
lying.
2 o'clock.
30 years you've been drinking every day.
Oh, yeah. Every day's a Saturday, and any time is 2 o'clock, apparently.
It's Saturday somewhere.
You even said you're at the pub every day at 3
First of all, he
o'clock.
can't spell your. He spells your Y-O-U-R. But he's doing that on purpose.
Hey, well,
Never heard of
right again, John.
No, untrue, Joy, and I don't believe this is the real. Oh, this is a badge, so maybe it is.
Toby, I did drugs in the privacy of my own home by myself for comedic effect. Exactly.
You sort of beer on the balcony that's whippets on the bathroom floor. Let's go.
Nope. Nope. Untrue. That statement is completely untrue and not even worthy of an argument. Joy.
Not even.
No.
Uh-oh.
Beer on the balcony is once a week.
Wait a minute. Beer on the balcony is once a week. I have a foot for a hand. I mean, look at that.
Beer on the balcony is once a week for normally an hour. I'm not libeling myself.
Joy, your
First of
name
all,
is
you know what
ironic.
libel means, Joy? Do you know the difference between libel and slander? Maybe you should look that up first before you would type.
You're a real bummer, Joy, which is ironic, considering your name.
Such a thing. Thank you. Scale! Well, then, Joy, do me a favor and look up the definition of libel. And then also think about what you're saying.
Joy, look up what
Smug
you said
John.
and think about that.
Even
I
Howard
working
made
for
fun of you with the
anybody
beer
now?
30 years ago.
Am I being employed by anybody right now? No.
Fair point. He's unemployed.
I like Jess here. She goes, this is the same script happening at every rehab right now. 100%. Tough day at the office.
Let's see. So if anyone has any other questions, I'll be glad to talk about. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the show.
It's your own fans that are busting your chops.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Bravo. Bravo.
Do you eat 7-Eleven hot dogs or just suck on them? Does Kevin's pubic hair ever get stuck in your teeth?
Do I have something in my teeth?
Well, you have been talking about Army Major's wife again.
I'd stomp your fucking ass.
Hello, Daddy. Do you like my profile pic? Rumor is the fight was rigged.
Who's going to win the fight tonight?
Oh, probably Cabby.
Your brother has got into Mensa. Why steal his valor? Vince would beat John easy in the fight. Hi, John. Do you own a mirror? You look horrible today. Kevin clearly won the fight. John's face was all messed up. Kevin's face was clear.
John, and ask him how he's feeling.
John, Patrick is watching. Good. Fuck you. Hey, Fatty Patty. You're the one who should be apologizing